all have sinned. So rather than condemning us as lawbreakers, like those pastors were, and leaving it at that, God provided a substitute, Jesus Christ, who obeyed the law perfectly for us on our behalf, thereby destroying the stronghold of sin over man. In Africa, they make you feel it all depends on your works. Now let's go back to this again. All have sinned. Please come, sir. We have all sinned, and my sister, can you also come? Or you are not, you don't mind?
Oh, I'm okay.
So all have sinned, men and women. All have sinned. So rather than condemning, because since we have all sinned, we all qualified to be condemned. All of us. But rather than condemning us as lawbreakers, because we have all broken the law, and leaving it at that, God provided a substitute. He reached out by Jesus becoming flesh and taking on the image of a slave and going to the cross to become the carrier of the consequences, the punishment for all the sins that you have all committed. So God is not looking at you already from the position of the sins that you have committed. He's now looking at you from the position of the fact that somebody has already carried the consequences and the punishment for your sin. So he's looking at you from the position of what Christ has done. He's no more condemning you. Either you are coming to him or you are not coming to him. Either you are a Buddhist or a Jewish. Either you are a wizard or a Muslim. All of you, God is already looking at you right now as people who have been paid for. His grace is already available to you as a witchcraft, as a wizard, as a witch, as Muslim, as Buddhist. His grace is available. He has already released that grace to you. Now, the only one thing I see there from your side is by faith to receive that. So Jesus has paid not just for the sins of Christians, he has paid for the sins of the whole world, including witches and wizards. And he has paid for the sins and for the fault of Buddhists and Muslims and all those people. The only thing that is stopping them from getting it and becoming like me is that they have to release their faith to receive it. That it has been done. So that was Jesus. God provided an alternative, a substitute, Jesus Christ, who obeyed all the law perfectly when he was on the earth. He didn't break any law. That is to counteract everything you have broken. So that Satan will not be able to accuse you or him. So that when he stands in your stead to protect you, Satan cannot say, because you too he said, no, I've lived like man. And as a man, I've attained righteousness for them. They cannot be condemned anymore. So he lived a perfect life for us, thereby destroying the stronghold of sin over man. That means as a man, I overcame sin. Now, sin doesn't have a stronghold over them anymore. That's what salvation means. So when you have received Christ as your Lord and Savior, even though you can still sin, but that sin doesn't hold you down anymore. And it doesn't take you as a consequence to hell. Unless you go to submit yourself to that sin again and begin to serve it and become a slave to that sin the way you were before Christ came for you. And for that to happen, you have to consciously walk out away from his grace and from faith in him and go back and be living your life under sin again. That's what we call backsliding. But when you are accepting that salvation and what is grace that he has done for you, you are in relationship with him, you are saved. Yes. It is therefore no more your righteousness or your holiness that saves you. It's because without holiness nobody can see God. It's talking about it. It's just like the pure in heart shall see God. It is the purity that God has brought to you, the holiness that God has given you, not your own efforts, holiness. So it's what Jesus has done that brings us to salvation, thereby destroying the stronghold of sin over man. So he said, sin shall not have dominion over you again. Now, what does that mean? Sin doesn't have dominion. Before, I'm still sinning. You are still sinning as a Christian, either you like it or not. But having dominion is what happened before you accepted his grace. When you were there, when you were in that river, were drowning. That was dominion. You were in that river. It was, you couldn't control it. You couldn't do anything about the sin. It was your lifestyle. That is dominion. When you came out of it, even though water can still come up, splash of water can still come on you, but it's no more having dominion. That's important. So even though everybody can still make some mistakes, but it's different that sin is having dominion. Jesus broke that dominion of sin forever over you. So, but in Africa today, the way they teach is that if you come to church on Sunday, you are already a sinner. But that's different. You are not a sinner because sin is not having dominion. Maybe you did something wrong. Sin, for confessing, he said, I wrote to you so that you will not sin. But if anybody says you have an advocate, don't worry, just confess and go. Keep on coming. God takes it easy. But everyone, they make you feel that you are back in the river. They make you feel that you are back in the ocean. Now you need efforts again. That is what people have turned Christianity to. Instead of them to emphasize grace. The same thing that brought you in the first place. Faith. The same thing that brought you in the first place. That's what will sustain you. Okay. Thank you. Isaiah 53 verse 5. But he was wounded for our transgressions. So everything you've done wrong, he has paid the price for it. Wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities. Everything you've ever done wrong, he has been bruised for it. He has paid the price for it. The punishment, this word chastisement means punishment. The punishment for our peace, for us to have peace with God, for us to have peace among ourselves, in ourselves. The chastisement for our sin, so that we might obtain sin, was put upon you. The punishment is being carried away for you. So don't look at God is not looking at you from the position of your punishment, iniquity, and sin anymore, and transgressions. He's looking at you from the position of what Christ has done for you. And by his stripes, we are healed. So he has paid the price for all those things. Okay? By faith in him and accepting his work on our behalf, we are justified. By faith in him that came for you. He loves you. He died for you. By that faith in him, accepting what he has done, that thing he has done, that he has carried away consequences of your sin, punishment for your sin, by just accepting that by faith, you are justified and made righteous. Here is the crucial difference between Christianity and all other religions. No other religion has done that. That's why everybody needs their own efforts. I need to go to church to pray 5 times a day. I need to go to Mecca. I need to go, because there is nobody who has done what Christ has done, who has already paid for all the things you have done. So, and then you have not accepted what Christ has done. In Africa, they don't tell you. They don't tell you that you don't need to do anything extra. Just believe. That's what you need to do. But in Africa, they don't tell you that that's the only thing you need. Just believe. That's all. It's too easy. The pastor still puts every load on Christians as if you don't hear that word. Just believe, just trust, you are okay already. People don't treat Christians as if they are okay already. You are not treated as if you are okay already. You are being treated as if there are some things you must still do. Every day there are some things you must still do. Oh, maybe you are not doing this right. Maybe you are not doing this. You are not being treated that you are okay. You are okay by believing in your Father. You are okay already. You are accepted. Accept yourself. Okay? Is that... Yeah. Go ahead. 2 Corinthians 5:21. For he made him, Jesus, who knew no sin, to become sin for us. You see, there was an exchange. That we might become the righteousness of God in him. I demonstrated that one time when Elena was here with her coat, with her white coat. Can you take the white coat from her? You give your white coat, and what are you wearing?
No, I'm wearing a shirt.
That white shirt? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. Bring your something. Okay. Come. Okay, bring that, yeah. Doesn't look too white, but you know. So let's say this is white coat, and which is black. My own is black. Eh? So she was wearing black. That's a sign of sin. Huh? You are black? He was, yeah. Yes. So this is our sin, our sinfulness. We are all lost in sin, right? But when we meet with Christ, she's giving her life to Christ. Christ come down to us, to our state, takes all our dirt and our guilt and our conviction and the punishment, everything that she deserves, puts it on himself and gives her his own righteousness. That's an exchange. So in the presence of God now, God is seeing you through this white thing that is called righteousness. And on the cross, Christ has nailed all this, your sin and anything you deserve by your efforts on the cross. Yes. And now, before God, even though you still fall, you still make mistakes, but he's treating you with compassion and understanding. He's saying that you are trying, don't worry. Come on, try. Yeah. For example, it's just like saying, when my son, righteousness is already there. It's just like saying when my son, Perez, was 9 months old. He started to make efforts to walk. So we were having something for him to hold on to and make the first step and then the second step. Then at a point we'll take that thing from him and say he will be standing. You say, okay, take the step. 1, 2, he just sit down, he just falls down. And then he keeps on doing that. So, but when he first one like that, I didn't say, Parent, who do you look like? What kind of child are you? I said, wonderful, you did one step, come on. I was rejoicing. That's how God treats us. He knows that you are trying to be holy. You are trying to be perfect. You are trying to please him, but you are still stumbling and falling. But he is so happy that you took that first step. You did it. Second step. This is what God is to us. That's how he treats us. But the way the African pastors make him to think, they are beating you. How can you fall after first step? You are a pastor. Yeah, that's how they portray God to us. Instead of a loving father that is only wishing you well. The other time, that same Perez, my son, I was away. And mom, because I was still removing my coat, and I said, Princess, give me some water to drink. So the mother, a cup, just any cup. Yes. Maybe just any glass, yes. Thank you. So the mother said, this one, he was now 2 years old. The mother said, give to dad. So he was the water was inside. He was taking, but before he got to me, all his fingers dirty like that. Then he gave me that. I saw the thing is black. Wow, parents, thank you so very much. And he was very happy, and I was happy. And that is not went wrong. All our efforts, no matter how good we are, it's like those fingers in the water and something. Even the best of us. Yes. Because the best of our righteousness is like the interact. Yeah. But our Father takes it and says, my son, I'm very proud of you, and dreams with all satisfaction. If we, earthly fathers, can treat our children like that, you know how God is treating, He's happy for you. Because He was already happy for you when you were even lost and when you were hating on Him. Yeah, you want to clap? If you have been watching our videos and maybe you enjoy them, maybe you don't enjoy them, but still, we need you to help us spread the word. And for that to happen, we only need you to take 5 little steps. Please help us spread this word by liking the video. Then, if you have not yet subscribed to our channel, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We also need you to press the notification button, and the way to do that is to click on the bell. You see the bell there? Click on it. Then, of course, leave your comments. Let's know what you're thinking about each video. And finally, we need you to go and share the word. Share this video on your Facebook timeline, on your Instagram, and every other platform that you have. All right? Let's win the world for Christ. Thank you so much.